Hey, thanks for checking out this podcast. My name is Jordan Swaim, and I just want to give you a little primer on what this show is all about and what I'm trying to do here. For many years now, and through a process of spiritual and intellectual development, I've grown a passion for finding nonviolent solutions to problems. These problems may range from self-harm, domestic abuse, or even how we talk to each other, all the way to armed conflict and how governments are structured. These problems may be so small in scale that they only apply on a personal level, or they may be so large in scale that they apply to humanity as a whole. Whatever the case may be, I want to explore how to reduce violence, and I'm using this podcast as a medium to do so. Though, let it be known, I do not have any kind of savior complex. I do not think that my contribution will in any significant way reduce human-to-human violence, but maybe, just maybe, could be a drop in the bucket toward that end. And maybe if there are people around the globe who feel the same way, we can find each other and our combined drops in the bucket could affect substantial change. I believe that a medium like this will help me to clarify my thoughts on the topic so that I can more clearly spread the message of peace and nonviolence. And if you share similar goals or passions, I hope it can help clarify your message as well. Something I'm going to say often, and it will be the thrust of this show: we cannot have world peace, but we can have a more peaceful world. You see, this isn't about quick fixes or pie-in-the-sky idealism. This is about building a toolkit that can inch us towards a less violent and harmonious future. Inch by inch, mile by mile. I try to stray away from one-size-fits-all solutions that are nearly impossible to implement. But rather, I prefer to find pragmatic action steps we can implement today. I will also be exploring some more meta concepts like human psychology and social theories to help build a framework for the why behind violence, or at the very least to help us think about the topic more holistically. I also want to say, you don't have to agree with every concept shared in this podcast. I'm not even sure I totally agree with some of the concepts myself. But I always believe that it's worth exploring if it can help achieve the goal of a more peaceful world. Alright, now for some housekeeping. I will have two types of episodes in this podcast, and they will be titled as follows: monologue and dialogue. In monologue episodes, they will be shorter, but a little higher production value, where I will essentially talk about an essay that I've written on a given concept. Then I'll have dialogue episodes, where I will have a guest interview and we will explore a concept deeper or talk about their particular area of expertise and how it applies to creating nonviolent futures. This is intentional because it's always important to keep talking and having dialogues, because when we stop talking, we start fighting. I'm aiming to release episodes twice monthly. Unfortunately, I still have a day job, and that is the most I can devote to this project at this time. But on that note, if you would like to support this podcast so that I can devote more time to it, feel free to contribute to my Patreon at www.patreon.com/thepeacefulway. You can also give one-time donations via PayPal or cryptocurrency. Just shoot me an email at thepeacefulwaypodcast@gmail.com, and we can set that up. Another phenomenal way you can support this project is by giving a 5-star rating as well as a written review wherever you listen to podcasts, or by sharing it with friends and family who you may think would benefit from these conversations. You can also follow me on socials like Twitter, and the handle is @WayPeaceful, or Facebook @The Peaceful Way Podcast. don't hesitate to send me a DM or email me again at thepeacefulwaypodcast@gmail.com. Thanks. Peace.